Oh, you're that too.
So there's hope.
Good evening, folks. My name is Bill Southern. I'm glad to have the opportunity to come and speak with you here tonight. This is a great crowd. I know that it may seem small in numbers, but to me, this is the grassroots effort. That's what it's going to take to win in November, particularly for us judicial candidates, because judicial candidates, as you know, we don't get a great deal of attention. It's hard to keep straight, even if you're a lawyer. I don't care who you are. Judicial candidates, being nonpartisan and being at the bottom of the ballot, sometimes it is difficult for us to garner the same attention that you see in other races. Folks, there are 8 statewide races this year that every citizen in this state is going to get the opportunity to vote in. That first one on the ballot that you're going to see is that United States Senate seat, which rightfully so gets a great deal of attention. But at the bottom of the ballot are 7 judicial races across this state that need our attention as well. There are 4 seats on the North Carolina Supreme Court and 3 seats on the North Carolina Court of Appeals that are up for election this year. And now is the time when we have to start talking about these races. Now is the time when we have to remind folks just how important these judicial races are, because they are nonpartisan. We rank right above soil and water conservation on the ballot. And so that'll tell you something about how difficult it can be. We deal with voter fatigue. A lot of times if you voted all the way through that ballot, you may not feel like voting for judge, especially if it's somebody you've never heard of before. But I'm asking for your help with that tonight. I am a district court judge now up in Surrey and Stokes counties, where I've been judged since 2008. Prior to that time, I was an assistant district attorney up there, where I prosecuted career criminals and protected the rights of victims of crime, as well as working hand in hand with law enforcement. And I believe that is the experience that I believe is important in my campaign for the Court of Appeals this year. And I would ask for your support in that. I can tell you something else about these judicial races that sometimes is a little bit confusing. Judge Stroud is already on the Court of Appeals, and she and I are not running against each other. Judge Paul Holcomb is also running. We're not running against each other. We're the conservative candidates in this race, and that's also part of our job this year is to help educate the public on what exactly these races are and who it is that's running in these races. I am proud to be a certified juvenile court judge in the state of North Carolina for my involvement with juvenile work in our court system. I'm very proud of that as well. I do want to take the opportunity again tonight to open the floor up for questions. Give you an opportunity to ask me anything that you might have by way of curiosity about what our court system does. Curiosity about maybe something that's on your mind about what the court system is. I do want to answer that question that was posed because it is an important question. What my thoughts on the Constitution are, I think that it should go without saying, but it's always worth repeating as many times as you can hear it, and that is that I firmly believe that the Constitution is what it says it is. It is not the role for a judge to decide what the law should be. A judge has to say what the law is. Folks, if I wanted to make the law, I could run for the legislature. Congresswoman Elmers or Mr. Roach, whoever is next going to Washington to represent this district, it's their job to make the law. It's my job as a judge to decide fairly and impartially every case that comes in front of me, regardless of whatever party it is that comes in front of me, regardless of the issue. I have a responsibility to uphold the law. And that is the law based on what the Constitution says. That is, I feel very strongly about that, and particularly being a conservative judge. And that is why it is so critical for us to elect good conservative judges this year, not only for locally, there are local judges races as well, but certainly these statewide judicial races, how critical it is for us to spend a little time educating the public, helping me to educate the public and helping your neighbors across Randolph County and throughout this state exactly how important these judicial races can be.
You know, when you're making your decisions, I do see a lot of judges now, which we have more liberal judges, they're actually trying to make the laws from the bench. And just give us your thought or what you do as far as what a judge's role is as far as interpreting what the Constitution says instead of trying to make that law, because that's what we're running into now is we have judges that they're basically making the laws from the bench.
And it's a great question because, one of the, all the questionnaires as a judicial candidate, you get these questionnaires and they want to know about how you feel about the Constitution being this living and breathing document, and they want you to kind of wax on about what that means. And to me personally, that's not what the Constitution is. The Constitution is a document that was written over 200 years ago by very intelligent men who were living at the time writing this document that is still applicable for us today. And I think that it's remarkable to sit back sometimes and think about what that has meant for the foundation of our country. But more importantly, I think the fact that they gave us all the opportunity to change that Constitution. That's really the beauty of the Constitution itself. It has the ability for us to modify, not by a judge in a courtroom, but by the people electing representatives or taking it upon themselves to see that Constitution be modified accordingly. And it provides very detailed ways for us to change the Constitution if we need to. But you see how many times we've done that. 27 times we've amended that Constitution on the federal government. Federal Constitution has been amended. That's remarkable. And that doesn't take a judge in a courtroom to do. That takes us electing good legislators to do for us and taking it upon ourselves as an informed electorate to see to it that the law be modified accordingly. But it's not the role for a judge to try and take that on him or herself. I think that in fact is violating the law. Thank you all so much. Please visit our website at southernforjudge.com. I've left some cards up there and as well as back here. And I certainly would appreciate your support this year. You can like us on Facebook, and we're on social media at Twitter. I'm at Judge Southern on Twitter and Facebook. You can visit as well. We certainly would appreciate it. These judicial races are difficult, folks, and I'm going to, I hope, be seeing a whole lot more of you. And I'm grateful for that every opportunity, but I need your help to go out and help spread the word about how important these judicial races are for myself, for Judge Stroud, and for Mr. Ann. We need your assistance in spreading the word about what these judicial races will mean for all of North Carolina going forward.